Hey everybody, it's Kim from Our Scrap, and welcome to the Artsy Addicts blog hop. I hope you're having fun hopping along the different blogs and seeing the different techniques that all the ladies have come up with. For my technique, I'm going to show you how to use stamps, Cuttlebug folders, glimmer mists, alcohol inks, and all kinds of good stuff to make coordinating embellishments for your minis or scrapbook projects. So what I did was I took one of my favorite stamps, which is this stamp right here. It's a Hero Arts stamp, background stamp, and stamped just a piece of cardstock just for the sake of the video. And say you're going to use this stamp on a project and you want an embellishment to coordinate with it. So what I did was, using the same stamp, I took a piece of polymer clay and used it to make this little charm. Hopefully that's picking up. So that way, when I have it on my project, it'll coordinate perfectly. So I'm going to show you how to make this little charm and some different techniques to color your charms. So what I did was just use polymer clay. I had this like beige color, I guess you would call it, and rolled it into a little ball to fit the clock that I wanted to use, and I used this right here, and then just flatten it into a disc. Now polymer clay has to be baked, and when you put it in to be baked, it will come out exactly how you put it in. So if there's fingerprints on the surface, those fingerprints will be there when it comes out. They won't smooth out or anything, so be careful or you'll have actual fingerprints on your polymer clay. So you just want to, whatever stamp you're using, mold your clay to fit it. Put it around, right there. Press it down, make sure you get a good impression, and then lift it right up. And there's your polymer clay with a stamped image in it. So then you would just take, if you want to make this into a charm, you would just take a head pin, clip it down to the size you need, which I'll go ahead and do it. Let's see. Just clip a little bit off, because you're just going to take this and just slide it or push it right down in. There you go. And if you want your polymer clay to be a charm, that needs to be inserted before you bake it, because once you bake it, it's hard as a rock. So this is how you would put it into the oven. That's one little technique to make it into a charm. The second embellishment you can make, and as you can see I use the same stamp, is to make it into a brad. There's your little prongs to stick out. So all you would do to make the brad was take your ball of clay, and I used the little tool that came with the polymer clay that I bought. Just make a little hole in there, big enough for your brad to fit into, and then insert your brad, make sure it's deep enough, and then pull the polymer clay around it like so, and then flatten it out to your disc. And then you would put it on the stamp just like you did in the first case, and you would have the matching brad. And the third thing is just to make the regular disc with nothing on it. No brad, no eye pin or nothing. And this would just be, to put on your page somewhere, to use kind of like as a button, or maybe the center of a flower or something like that. And as you can tell with this one, it has a different imprint on it. I didn't use the stamp. I pulled out my Cuttlebug folders, and this one was actually done with the Swiss Dots folder. So I just took a ball, made a disc, and what you want to do is your folder, if I can get this open, has the raised side and then the indent side. So if you want the little dots to go down, you would use the back part of the folder. If you want them to come up like this one, you would use the front part of the folder. Just either way you want it to go. So that could be a cute little embellishment. Then I have a couple others I was just playing with. There's another little clock charm that I made. And then, oh, that's another one. Oh, here it is. I made this one. Again, I just took the polymer clay, rolled it out flat, and this one I put into the fleur-de-lis Cuttlebug folder. As you can see, it fits perfect right there. And just squished the folder down, cleaned up the edges, and baked it. Now, if you only have one color of polymer clay, you know, who wants all these beige pieces? You need to color it to match, to coordinate whatever project you're working on. So I thought, well, everyone pretty much knows that acrylic paint, you know, works on polymer clay. You can use any kind, you know, any color acrylic paint. But I wanted to try other things. So what I did was pull out some glimmer mist, and the piece I showed you at the beginning of the video has been glimmer misted, and this is sugar plum. So as you can see, the original color of the clay is coming through, but it's glimmer misted. You can see a little bit of sheen on there. Hopefully it's picking up. And then the color, the glimmer mist, sank down into the impressions to give it the darker color. So I thought that turned out pretty cool. And it, you know, once you heat set it, it won't rub off of the polymer clay. It adheres. The second one I did was this one, and I thought this one turned out way cool because I used the silver mixative and just used the little Timmy tool. You can see it's still on there, and just brushed it on, making sure, you know, get it around everywhere, and it pretty much looks like a silver charm. The only thing I would caution you about is around the head pin here, it's hard to get into color, and I left it where you can see it's not colored well there. You would actually have to, like, you know, use the dauber to get in there. I think that would work better. Or not the dauber, but the bottle. So that's what it looks like with the mixative. And then I pulled out liquid pearls to see if it would work on polymer clay and it would actually adhere and not rub off, and it works as well. So I used a paintbrush to make sure I got down into the little crevices and everything, and it's been probably like 30 minutes and it's dry. It's not rubbing off, as you can tell. It's not coming off on my fingers. So whatever color you want to use, if you have these three products, you can color to coordinate the charm that you made to the project you're working on. So I thought that was pretty neat. And I'm sure there's other products out there that will work to color polymer clay, but these were the three that I had on hand. So I would encourage you to try different things, you know, see if it adheres to the polymer clay, if it, you know, if it will stay adhered and not rub off or smudge. And same thing with a stamp. I would think that a stamp that has a lot of negative space would make a better impression, because you don't want like a lot of flat surface. But again, play with it. You know, pull out your stamps, pull out your clay, and see what happens, because the good thing about the polymer clay is if you get your little ball ready and make an impression and you miss the mark and you don't like it, all you gotta do is roll it back up, before you bake it. Just, you can do it as many times as you want, and until you get it right, and you're not wasting any of your stuff until you're happy with the results. So I hope you found this technique useful. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you're loving the blog hop and all the techniques that the ladies have put together for you. Thank you in advance for watching, and I'll see y'all on the next video. Bye. Another thing you can do